TD Ryan Unleashed is brought to you by Scott Zimet, your State Farm Insurance agent in DeKalb. Call 815-748-3101 or stop by at 2587 Sycamore Road, Suite D in DeKalb. Like a good neighbor, Scott Zimet and State Farm are there. Pizza Villa, pizza, pasta, sandwiches, and more at 824 West Lincoln Highway in DeKalb. Don't forget Kids Eat for Free on Thursday. For delivery or pickup, go to pizzavilla.com or call 815-758-8116. Elder Care Services of DeKalb. Safe, secure, and supported, helping you stay in home where you want to be. Call 815-758-6550 or stop in at 1701 East Lincoln Highway in DeKalb or on the web at ecsdekalb.org. My Insurance Guy in Sycamore covers Medicare to auto care and everything in between. Stop by at 204 South Main Street in Sycamore. Call 815-899-0950 or online at myinsuranceguy.com.
And welcome into TD Ryan Unleashed, podcast number 46. Honored and privileged to have our friends from TransVAC. What is TransVAC? We're going to find out what TransVAC is and a special fundraiser they're having now. Stand Up for Comedy. Should be a lot of fun. Get ready for an evening of laughter that makes a difference. Join us for Stand Up for Seniors, a one-of-a-kind comedy fundraiser featuring a hilarious Bad Moms of Comedy, a powerhouse group of real moms sharing genuine laughs about the chaos of everyday life, known for their quick wit and reliable humor, unlike myself. Those women that share stories from their trenches of motherhood and beyond, promising a night filled with fun and connections. All proceeds will benefit Meals on Wheels, helping us deliver nutritious meals and friendly visits to our seniors in our community. Come enjoy a night out at the Egyptian Theater that fills your heart with as much as it tickles your funny bone. Learn more about Bad Moms at badmomsofcomedy.com or listen closely right now as we talk with Tammy and Amber about the set event. How you guys doing? Tammy, let's start with you. First of all, welcome. And tell us about this comedy night. Well, better yet, let's go back and tell us what TransVAC is. You know, I've heard it. I've been living in this community now for about 25 years, and I've heard TransVAC, and I see the TransVAC vehicles around. Tell us about TransVAC.
Absolutely. Love to bring everybody up to speed type of thing. Volunteer Action Center started out as a clearinghouse for volunteers over 50 years ago. The idea was to supply different agencies with volunteers. Again, a clearinghouse. People would call and say, hey, I'd like to volunteer with animals. I'd like to volunteer with seniors. I'd like to volunteer with kids. And our idea was to connect people. Well, it clearly came to realization that people were calling to get rides. And it kind of morphed into that. Transportation morphed into TransVAC and MedVAC. And then years later, we connected with the foods program in DeKalb, which then morphed into Meals on Wheels in DeKalb County. So if you want to talk about us as a whole, here in DeKalb County, our two programs are going to be rides and meals. Our two programs are going to be rides through TransVAC and meals through the Meals on Wheels program, all based out of the Bethany Road location in Sycamore.
That's what, at 1600 Bethany Road, right?
1606 with the big blue building outside.
Yeah,
You can't miss it.
So it started in 74, as you mentioned there, and then you said in 88, you had the public transportation facility. 91, you complete the central kitchen facility, and that's where you come in, Amber, right? Now, no, not yet, but of course, you are now running the food program, the Meals for Wheels food program, right?
Correct. Yes, I'm nutrition director, so I oversee all of our nutrition programs, including our Meals on Wheels programs, our congregate programs, and our contracts that we have in the community with daycares and the county jail.
You can't use big words around me. Congregate, I don't know what that means. Tell me what that means, please.
So just like the word congregate means it's a social style lunch program. So individuals can come and dine with other adults their age in a social setting where they're able to congregate, talk about life, talk about what's going on in the community, and share meals together.
That's a great idea. That's wonderful. I'm sure they have the option if they don't want to do that. They can go and eat by themselves if they prefer.
We do, yes. We also allow that.
I'm very self-conscious when I eat. I'm thinking about myself when I'm talking about this. But so Meals on Wheels started in 1974. The kitchens. Now, tell us about the kitchens that you work with there. You're preparing meals every day? Is that right? Tell us about it.
That's correct. Yes, Monday through Friday, we prepare meals in-house. So our Sycamore location that we're talking about now, we have our own independent kitchen. We have about 5 staff members there working from the morning through the afternoon, not through the evening, thankfully, that help prepare meals. Everything's made in-house, fresh, ready to be served there and then delivered out to our clients. That includes our contract services. Everything's made in-house. And then our meals over at the jail are actually prepared at the jail. We have a beautiful kitchen over there at the DeKalb County Jail.
You know, my wife has this new Yucca app. I don't know about the Yucca app that
Yes.
we've been using in the supermarket, and it's amazing things that I thought were healthy for me. We scan this thing, and it's got preservatives and stuff in there too. How do you watch out for that stuff when you're preparing the meals over there?
Absolutely. That's a great question. The Yucca app is really cool. So what we do is we have a dietitian team at Northwestern Medical that offers their time. They actually volunteered for us to proof all of our menus, approve them. We are for heart healthy meals during the week. So they check those and make sure that they are truly heart healthy. But then they also assist with ingredients and purchasing. So we have a kitchen manager who does all the ordering. She does a fantastic job. But then our dietitian team is there to say, hey, let's make a swap for this item on this day. We can do a healthier choice, or we can do something that's easier to get. So we have a great dietitian team that helps support us with.
Do you receive food donations, or do you want that, or is it
We sometimes do receive food donations. Yes, we are always interested in hearing what the community might have that they want to donate. We have to be a little bit picky, though.
I would
because
imagine.
We have to accept things that are in date and align with our menu, because we never want anything to waste.
Mhm.
So if we can't use an item, we'll pass it on to another neighbor that could use it.
My grandmother lived through the Depression, and she was never waste any food. She talked about they'd have deep fried pieces of bread was their treat. That was their big treat that they had. But she would never throw anything away. It's just amazing how that sticks to that generation.
Absolutely.
And you follow that same thought, right? Well, no food should go to waste.
Absolutely. Yep. We're a community resource, and the money we receive, we want to use in the best way possible. So even if donations are being offered to us, we don't want to waste any of that. We want to make sure that what we're getting is being prepared and brought to our clients as fresh as possible, and nothing's being wasted.
All right, let's talk about TransVAC. So we'll get back to Meals on Wheels too. Actually, I don't know if you guys would be the right person to ask about this or not, but obviously we see what's going on at the federal level where they're cutting all kinds of programs, especially in the state of Illinois here. Are you guys working around that, or how are you doing that right now? Or are you involved with the budgetary process there? Or is it
I'm not dabbling in
Per se?
the budgetary process to TD, but I'd like to maybe Amber can back me on this thought processes. It's not come down the pike yet. We're feeling, people's concerns. That's
Right.
for sure. That's for sure. But that doesn't mean that we aren't plugging ourselves into different avenues. We're working closely with the city of DeKalb in a lot of their programs that they have through the Meals on Wheels America. Our grants management director has, kind of dug deep into other grants and other fundraising opportunities. So it's on our radar that,
It's like a big hammer hanging over your head?
hanging over that small nail, but we're definitely going to stay positive in that regard.
Well, we learned during the pandemic, I hate the word pivot. People use that word all the time, but you are doing that. You're pivoting in the process right now, aren't you?
We're pivoting, but
Or preparing to pivot, I should say.
Yeah, well, I guess the biggest thing is I think we're just being prepared all the time. We could literally lose a grant, and that's not something that could come out of the blue. So our current executive director is just kind of always keeping his ear down and keeping his eyes open and listening to what people are saying and not dismissing that anything bad could happen at any time. But if you dwell on the bad, then you can't always focus on the good. So
Right.
We're
That's a-
definitely striving to focus on the good in our programs, in our fundraising, in our conversations.
That's great. Great answer there, too. So let's talk about the MedVac that we talk about here because, I'm just going to read the service provided. TransVAC in DeKalb, Illinois offers transportation service primarily within DeKalb County and some locations beyond the county borders. TransVAC concentrates on fulfilling rural transportation needs involving origin of destination outside of urban areas. The service caters to seniors, individual disabilities, and the general public based on space and ability. So tell us about that. So even the general public could use this.
Yeah, honestly. So our program is going to be more focused on the rural routes, we like to say. There is another agency local here that does more of the urban people deliveries, let's say, or people rides.
Now, who is that? Give them a shout out.
Let's give TransDev that shout out. So
Okay.
they are the agency that provides the rides within Sycamore, DeKalb, Portland. So if someone lives in those three quote unquote urban areas, TransDev through the city of DeKalb is going to be their primary ride provider. If
Okay.
you're going outside of those urban areas, say someone lives up in Genoa, is coming down for dialysis. Maybe they live up in Kirkland and then they want to come down to Highview to grocery shop. But again, you had mentioned general rides. Something I like to share is we love that John O'Mac Orchard out there in Malta area.
Come to John Mac Orchard.
Yeah,
and your
exactly.
family
It's gotta-
version.
you know the tone, you know the tune. So let's say there's a family, there's a grandma, there's a mom, there's a young kid. I'm going to use my family example. We live in Sycamore. Let's say my mom, who's 70 something. And myself and my 7-year-old son and my family want to go from my house in Sycamore out to John Mac Orchard, but we don't want to drive separately because we're going to have some of that wine and have enjoyment time. So fast forward, we could do all the proper paperwork. We could all convene at my house and get a ride from Sycamore to the rural area of Malta of John Mac Orchard. So it doesn't have to be specifically to get a ride for a doctor's appointment. I would probably say 98% of the people we give rides to are going to be of the individuals who are 60 or better or going to necessary places.
Right.
But that can also, we're also there as an option to do recreation. So we don't work on a volunteer base anymore when it comes to the transportation. That used to be MedVAC. We're kind of peeling back away from the phrase of MedVAC because that was our volunteer-based program. And honestly, TransVAC is literally rides anywhere, medical or non-medical. So we are there to give you the ride throughout DeKalb.
That is great. You know, my wife comes from Sugar Grove, but she had a family of 10, and her brother wanted to play sports. But mom said, you can't do it because we have no way to get you from the farm for after school because there was no transportation to it. They worked it out with a neighbor, though. But I mean, not that you would use it for that, but it's people that live in the outlying areas, they have no option, do they, other than this down TransVAC.
It's definitely something people can bark up the tree and look into.
And services, again, we want to point out that general public based on space and availability, obviously. Courteous, safe, and reliable service for all riders, regardless of race, gender, age, or disability. All riders must be registered by the TransVAC of DeKalb County Dial-A-Ride service. So tell us how we register. Is that a difficult thing to do?
No, it's super easy. We have it all for a new website about a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago at this point now. I go on the website. At the very top, it says Meals and Rides. A drop down on the top. It's all mobile friendly. It's a form that you can fill out right there. Then the form information gets sent directly to our dispatch. We also have dispatch for rides out in Kendall area called Kendall Area Transit. So if someone lives out that way and they fill out the form related to Kendall, the information goes to them.
Great.
It stays here locally if it's DeKalb, and from there you're registered. I mean, things may change if you get a new address, obviously.
But you don't have to register every time.
Nope, it's a one-time registration unless something changes. And then from there, again, like you said, dial a ride. You call up, you email, and you say, I'd like a ride, next week or 10 days that you had mentioned to would availability.
Right.
You could, there's times in which somebody says, hey, I need a ride in 2 days, and that's might not going to happen. We may be full, or we don't have enough drivers because they weren't scheduled because they didn't know they had a ride. But they could also say, yep, someone's going that direction. We'll squeeze you in. This is about the time we'll pick you up, and it's about the time we'll be able to drop it off.
Can we do it way in advance? Because, I've had some medical issues and trying to get an appointment with the doctor. Yeah, that'll be 3 months from, so can I call you and say 3 months from now I'm going to need a ride? Or is that
maybe closer to two
oh,
weeks to 10 days.
Narrow it down a little bit.
I'd like to say that we're 100% knowing what we're doing in 3 months, but that's not true.
Now, I see there is a fair structure here, $13 to $59 a dollar. I'm just turned 66, so I'm free, or I can make a donation as well.
Correct. Yeah, all our services when it comes to Meals on Wheels or TransVAC rides are donations appreciated for those individuals 60 or better.
So if you did that family thing, for instance, you'd like to make a nice donation.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad idea.
Yeah, and keep the road safe since you're going to be hitting the when you get out there. Kishwaukee College students $1, 6 to 12-year-olds with adult $8 to $1. Disabled for $1. Now, that's why I get into assistance now. TransVAC and DeKalb operating the train. We shield the wheelchair ramps all the times, and we know that's a big thing. I know my stepbrother and his wife are having so much difficulty just getting them in and out of the car. Tell us about how you can help people with assistance getting in and out of vehicles.
Sure. So all of our vans and our buses are wheelchair accessible. Again, like you said, they have lifts. We take the drivers go through all the proper precautions for unloading and offloading. If someone does have a wheelchair, there are hate to say they're like straps, but they connect the wheelchair.
Sure, right.
They're
Yeah.
not like
We see that on buses too. Yeah, sure.
they're extra seat belts for the wheelchair mounts and stuff like that. So yes, we have the ability to transfer individuals who have limited mobility, either they're deteriorating in their ability to move, or they're physically already in a chair. Maybe they're in a walker, so on and so forth. So our staff is all trained to properly use the lifts, get people up and down safety wise, and then get them into the seats.
We were talking to our friends from the fire department the other day, and we realized that a lot of the calls that go out are to get people back into bed, right? They fall out of bed and they can't get back into bed. And so they have to have that device to get people in and out. So, but I see here, if there's more help needed, you'll also have a driver on board. If when a rider's needs are beyond the driver's responsibility, one driver, a travel assistant, may ride at no charge. So also somebody who's helping that person can
Exactly.
ride.
Yeah. Somebody,
Okay.
they have an assistant that lives with them, or a helper or caregiver. Maybe it's a family member that is going to be their advocate at the doctor's office. So if they're going to be going to that doctor and they need someone to go with them, that assistant can ride for free.
All right, very good. And then finally, I see here it says Illinois Relay is a free service that allows people who are deaf, hard of hearing, speech disabled, or deaf or blind to place, rely on, and receive calls to standard telephone use. Now, I've seen this ad on the television, do it. So this is the numbers that they can call it and arrange to have that done, huh?
Yeah, exactly. So we are required to provide that to individuals who have those disabilities as well.
All right, very good. Now, let's go back now to Amber, because again, I was so intrigued by your what you've done here. Let me just read what it says here. Amber Godensky left her hometown of Sycamore to attend the University of Arizona. She didn't know that everything she needed to launch a rewarding nonprofit career was right here in her own backyard at NIU. So tell us about that. You go off to Arizona, and that's when the vid hits, right? The COVID.
That's so true. Yeah, I grew up in Sycamore, small town living. There's nothing like it. And
I love the quote from you, the Midwest. You say, I miss my community and the culture of the Midwest. Yes, Midwest nice is a real thing.
It absolutely is. I missed it so much when I was living in Arizona. My family is based in Illinois. We all live here. But I really miss my community, to be honest. There were so many connections that I had built through my time in school, and then just with friends and family, that I really wanted to come back to Sycamore and contribute to what we have growing here and in DeKalb County. So yes, returned during the pandemic, finished my education at NIU as a nonprofit and NGO studies major. During that time,
Now, you're always talking fancy to us. And what's NGO studies? Can you tell us what that is?
a non-governmental organization.
Oh, okay.
So just an abbreviation for it. But during that time, I got a job at the Military Action Center part-time, and then continued working here after graduation. And spent 4 years. Time flies when you're having fun.
Talk about that first day in VAC. Now, you're a young person. Did you know what we were getting into? Did you have an idea what that was going to be like?
Oh my gosh, I was so nervous, but I was really excited. It was my first official job working with a nonprofit. Now, I grew up in a family. My mom was involved with nonprofits her whole life. So I had grown up as an informal volunteer. I was voluntold that I would be helping a lot.
Voluntold, I like that.
So I had experience with nonprofits, but never as an employee. So it was very exciting. I think I was ready to go and see how I could get involved.
Now, your mom was involved with getting kids access to the arts. Is that right? If I'm reading that correctly, Glenda.
Correct. Yes.
Glenda, right? Glenda is your
My
mom.
mom, Glenna. Yep. So yeah, she was involved with Hamilton Wings Score. It was an offer program that still exists, founded by Risa Jones. And it's in the Elgin area. It got kids that needed extra activities after school and extracurriculars involved with the arts. So they would create an opera from scratch, from the storyline to the music to the costuming. My mom specifically worked on the costuming, and so I would go and spend the summer with her helping with that. It was very, it's a wonderful program for kids in the Elgin area.
Yeah, I was telling you off there, my favorite question when I was on the radio was nature versus nurture, whether you'd be doing what you're doing or not. And here your mom was volunteering all this time, and it got you, didn't it, a little bit?
Absolutely, yeah. I definitely come from a family that links getting to know your neighbors, important to their strength in community. So I definitely think I was influenced by my mom's.
Are there other siblings? Are they involved with
I
similar?
have 2 older brothers.
And what are they doing?
So my oldest brother works in finance, and he lives in Chicago. And my second oldest brother works at Hero Consulting. He's up in Milwaukee.
Okay.
Yes,
Oh,
so
very
different
cool.
route for both of them. My dad is an engineer, so I think they put on more of their analytical hat. Route.
And Amber's like an onion, not in a bad smelling onion, a good smelling onion, because as we peel back another layer, we learn about you and the Women's Rugby Club and her busy schedule. Tell us about I interviewed some girls at the radio station, and when they were just starting the rugby club over there at Sycamore High School, and I couldn't believe Sycamore girls wanted to play rugby. And I just interviewed the girls wrestling team here from DeKalb that are doing very well. Tell us about the rugby club and how you got involved with that.
That's awesome. So yeah, I actually played rugby at Sycamore High School, and that's how I got started.
Is that right? Okay.
So that's a fun shout out. But it was, got started in high school and played throughout college. When I came back to NIU, the club was around, but kind of coming back from the pandemic era. And we rebuilt the team. We have a great alumni association now, and I still continue to play for the women's club out of St. Charles, the Fox Valley Vixens, and coach at NIU's. I'm honored to be able to continue that. I think women's sports are on the rise as always.
Hottest sport in Illinois right now is women's wrestling. So
Absolutely,
yeah.
yes. And big shout out to Sycamore for their wrestler. I think Emma won the state championship.
Yeah, but there's she's going to be on our podcast. As a matter of fact.
That's amazing. So that's wonderful.
Oh, you talking about your time when you were in the rugby team? No, I'm kidding.
I'm going to run away from that.
But do we have a young daughter? Did you say it? Is it?
I have a young son.
Okay. Oh, so maybe rugby, maybe not. Yes.
No, he's the next Ted Lasso. The next Roy Kent.
Oh, there you go. Now, before we wrap things up, is there a rugby scholarship at NIU or will there be? Because
Yes, there's a scholarship funded through the Alumni Association, NIRA, and Northern Illinois Rugby Alumni Associations, the abbreviation. And it's a small scholarship given to students on the rugby team, both men and women. And students applied for that in the spring season, and it's funded by alumni.
Ferd, how do you get the sexist in people when they say, "Oh, you women know out there playing our sports and tackle football and rugby"? What do you say to them when they get that
Oh, well, like,
attitude towards you?
oh, goodness. I think sports for both genders are so important. I think it builds confidence, builds leadership skills. I grew up in a household. We played sports my entire life. My brothers all played sports. It's such an important part of development, whether it's sports, arts, music, being involved in something bigger than yourself, just in general, is so huge. So I think it's a huge win for everybody that's involved in sports, but especially right now for women. Love to see the growth is the community cheering that group on.
That's great to see. It really is. That's really cool. Well, that is so cool that you're doing that. So we have one more layer of the onion to peel back, but let's talk about the stand-up comedy night here. Now, are you guys organizing this? Because some of these women are probably pretty well known, right? These are not just your average housewife. These are women that are. Orly GK will be there. Jeannie Dugan is going to be there as well. Dana Ehrman, Laura Hug, which they might with Hug. And Mo Good. Oh, wait. That can't be the real name. What do we know about these ladies? And can you tell us a little bit about
Oh
it?
my gosh, we're so very excited about this one. So this is a new venture for us. A couple of our events have been weather dependent, so that's always something to keep in the back of your mind. And this year we went non-weather dependent. We went with a type of, I guess, event that is literally going to be something that is going to make you laugh your butt off.
Yeah, if we ever need a comedy in our world right now, and especially in America, now would be the time.
Exactly.
So the timing couldn't be any better.
The idea behind this event is to not only get the word out about Voluntary Action Center, about fundraising, it's also about having a good time, right? So Saturday, April 4th is going to be this Stand-Up for Seniors comedy fundraiser where the proceeds are going to be benefiting the Meal on Wheels program, where you have sponsors. Shout out to Lamb Insurance Services in Old National Bank for being some of our top tier.
You have to go Lamb Insurance Services.
There you go. Never heard that. And they are going to be the ones that help bring the comedians to us, but it's the community that is going to bring themselves to our comedy. So it's less than a $40 ticket.
Yeah, really reasonable price there.
Really reasonable tickets. An 8:00 show at the Egyptian Theater. I just got connected with the El Jimador and El Jimador on DeKalb.
Wonderful food.
And they are going to do a 10% back night for us the night of our event. So if somebody's going to go to the comedy night and before they want to have supper, check it out at the...
it's 1 block away. It's a block away. Yeah.
Exactly. I just walked it. And you could literally enjoy a meal, give back, and then come back and give back. But not only are we going to be doing that, we have a Cool Prizes, Warm Hearts raffle fundraiser that we're also doing. I'm very excited to secure this.
Okay.
We are, this is brand new. It's not been printed anywhere. This is hot off the presses. I kid you, I just got you.
All right.
When I was
We got a scoop here. All
I
right.
wasn't even happy to walk my dog. Breaking news. Roughly now we have a Yeti cooler that is branded with our top sponsor, Lamb Insurance Services. And it's going to have a meat bundle that you can win from Hy-Vee.
Now there's practicality. Yes.
So the grand prize is a Yeti cooler with a meat bundle. And then second and third prize are additional Yeti items. So that raffle literally is started today. People will be hearing about it. But all of these things, again, 100% Meals on Wheels. Amber talked about the hot meal that is being prepared daily, about the nutrition that we meet. That's what this fundraiser does. This fundraiser puts a healthy, full meal with milk and bread and the spaghetti and all those things warm that we love, that we call, our home. We bring it to them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what this fundraiser does. We bring a hot meal to their home. The volunteers that are coming are going to come and visit. They're going to come and check on our clients. We have
That social aspect is just as important, isn't it?
so someone is a repeat, either repeat offenders or repeat volunteers, type of thing. They notice when something is off with so many people that they visit. They say, "Oh, it took twice as long to get to the door," or for some reason this door, the door was unlocked.
Mm-hmm.
So all of the things we do when it comes to the fundraising literally comes back to handing the food to the individual, because it's the check, it's the wellness check, it's the health check, it's the love that we provide and the volunteers provide.
Oh, well put there too. So again, that's coming up here on April 4th at the Egyptian Theater. I'm guessing we can buy tickets right up until
You can buy
game time there, right?
You can buy tickets now online. You can go to the box office at the Egyptian Theater. They're open Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 3 to 6 p.m. There's always going to be those fees that are included when you buy things online with the credit card.
Right.
So if you want to save a few bucks, go to the box office. But yeah, there's also some premium seats that if somebody is interested in being right up front at a comedy show, that's going to include some chocolates from the confectionery.
Okay.
And I get premium seating and table service with a waitress.
Oh, nice.
We have a couple levels of different options for individuals to support us.
I've been in radio for 35 years and I can never swear. And I have this great joke that I can tell you guys, just I'm warning people listening right now. I will use an expletive in this joke. But a young man walks in to apply for a job. And the guy interviewed him says, "What do you think is your worst attribute? You have some worst attribute." And the kid thinks for a minute. He goes, "Well, I always tell the truth, no matter what. I always tell the truth, no matter what the situation. I'm going to tell the truth." And the guy goes, "Hey, young man, you know what? We here don't happen to think that telling the truth is such a bad attribute." And he goes, "I don't give a fuck what you think." Had to get that one in there. I apologize for the expletive.
Joke right there.
Well, now let's finish up though. We have to peel another layer of the onion back with Amber here now, because Amber, I see you were certified dementia friend in 2020. Tell us about that, because again, dementia is such a terrible, terrible thing, and thank God you're trying to help people with that. Hey, what do you tell us about that?
Yeah, I'm glad you brought it up, because it's actually a really, really easy attribute to have to become a dementia friend. It takes just a few minutes online. You can go through Dementia Friends America. They have videos and resources that they ask you to review. They go through some scenarios in your community where you might encounter someone that's experiencing dementia and living with dementia, ways to interact with them and how to assist them if they need assistance. And you take a short quiz, and then you can become a dementia friend. So it's very accessible to become a dementia friend. We actually just sent our staff through dementia training at VAC. So all of our voluntary action center employees are now dementia friendly trained. But I think it's so important as we see dementia and Alzheimer's on the rise in our community. More or less, this is a hidden disease that a lot of individuals experience. It's hard on the individual. It's hard on family and caregivers. It's so important to become educated now.
Yeah, I've seen it firsthand, and this hits home to you too, right? Tell us about Grandma's Garden. Tell us about Grandma's Garden.
So my grandmother, Eileen, my mom's mom, we called her Grandma Garden. She was a very amazing, talented gardener.
What a great title to have, Grandma Garden. I love that.
Garden. And she passed away from Alzheimer's. And we had the pleasure of being her family caregiver for a very long time. But what I saw from that is that there's a lot of stress. There's a lot of hardship that comes with being family caregivers, and services like what we provide at VAC with transportation and Meals on Wheels and congregate dining would have been a great assistance to my family. It wasn't something that we were in the vicinity, we weren't near enough to accept those services, but more and more, it's important to have these things available, whether it's from us or other community resources for those individuals living with dementia and Alzheimer's and their families.
Oh, very well put there. So again, it's wonderful the work that you're doing. And one last thing, just tell us about the compassionate touch that you talk about here. Compassionate touch can be a very intimate and healing tool, especially for those living with memory changes or cognitive impairments. Tell me, what does that mean exactly?
Yes. So during my time at the NIU, I had the pleasure of doing a year of the internship. And through that internship, I became Compassionate Touch certified. And it's a practice that promotes compassionate touch for building relationships and trust with individuals living with dementia and Alzheimer's. Basically covers some high-level topics of how to engage with someone who may be nonverbal at that stage, Alzheimer's or dementia, when they can no longer communicate and ways you're familiar with. But building connection through touch and building that trust back. There's a lot of experiences for individuals with dementia that can be frightening. Even something as simple as showering every day can be very stressful and very frightening. So it talks about bringing that relaxing component back to them and making them feel secure in those activities of daily living.
Oh, very good. Now, we've been ignoring the other onion in the room. Tammy, tell us about yourself. Tell us about how you got involved with this. How did you get involved with volunteer action?
Oh, we can keep going after Abraham.
Your article is very
Yes, it was. It covered the whole thing for me there.
Oh my.
Well, you were at the Y. I know that we forgot you went to the Y at one point. You were coming
I
in.
was at the Kish Y here for 5 years. My background is health and fitness. But,
Why'd you get into that? Why'd you?
personal reasons. I really so I grew up on a farm outside of Streeter, so southern or down in the South County area, and just fell in love with sports. Fell in love with knowing. So growing up on a farm, I literally my parents living, up and doing all things all the times, and somehow I got in my head that I wanted to be the one that cooked food, and I wanted it to be healthy, and kept going down these rabbit holes of those types of things.
Did you have trouble getting to your sporting events from living out on the farm there?
No. They always gave me.
They knew how important that was? Okay.
Yeah, I even got to play club, which is kind of weird for a kid. But fast forward to.
And what was your sport?
So I did volleyball, and then I ran cross country in college.
Okay.
And now I just running type of thing. But
now, when you practice cross country, do you try to do it with somebody else, or you're on your own on that one?
It's a group practice, yes, but the coach really writes the workouts for you. Pretty much kind of like rugby. I mean, honestly, you're not doing the exact same thing as as the person next to you, because there's no way I'd be able to run as fast as some of those other people. But the coach would write different intervals, paces that he wanted you to try to, catch and stuff like that. So, so my background is that with health and fitness promotion and YMCA and stuff.
And there was a club at one of the grade schools, Girls That Run. I don't know if you know that one, or
Girls on the Run.
Girls on the Run, yeah.
Yes.
What a neat thing, because it combines running with all the other aspects.
They do a lot of leadership activities. They do a lot of, guided meditation, and I think they do that stuff. But it's more about building the person up and talking while they're running.
Right, that's great. So how did you find yourself at Volunteer Action Center?
So I was at the Y for a while. My kiddo is 7, but moved away from the Y when it just.
I'm doing away with the term kiddo, by the way. I never liked it as a kid. I don't like it now.
Yeah,
So-
don't call me. Today,
I'm sorry.
something else later when he's not listening. But it just became something where I was looking for something a little bit more stable hour-wise.
Mhm.
As you know, the Y is open really early and really
Right.
late. And sometimes it became a situation where I was looking for something more stable for myself. My husband is a superintendent for a bridge building contractor, does interstate bridge building. Let's just say he's busy. And it was something where
I understand he got suspended from his job. That's a bridge joke, but I'm thank you. I'll be all right. Sorry.
he probably
Okay.
fast forward to this opportunity came about, and it was something where I could still plug myself into the community as someone who wanted to be in front and talk. So my background again is fitness, so I teach group exercise, did personal training, and just really taught people. So my philosophy as a personal trainer very much lends, or as a former personal trainer, we could say, lends to what my role at VAC is, honestly. And I think I've said this to Amber, and I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself, but when I was a personal trainer, I would want to teach someone how to live, teach someone how to think about changing how they were eating. It's not what you don't have a diet. You're not on a diet. You're not going to the gym. This is your lifestyle. That's what you should be doing. And that's just who you are. And if I kept a client for forever, to me, that wasn't me doing my job. If I taught them the tools to continue to do something without me, then that's accomplishing my job. So that's where I feel my job here at Volunteer Action Centers. I can talk to you till I'm blue in the face about all things that we do. But until you take the words and say it to the next person, and they say it to the next person, I'm not doing my job. So.
Well, that's my favorite quote from the Bible is you could give a man a fish and he'll eat for a day, but teach a man to fish and he'll eat for the rest of his lifetime. So that's really what you're doing, right?
Yep. Taking exactly what I did back at the Y and putting it in this role is, the ultimate good feeling.
Tell us about your first day at VAC. What was that like for you?
Oh my I rearranged my office because I wanted it to be a standing desk. No,
Oh, you're one of those standing desk people.
I'm
All
a
right.
standing desk person. Scared me. But no, it was great, and it was fast paced, and that's what I like. I like to be out and about. I like to be talking to people. I left the office, I think, at 1:30, and I haven't been back yet because I've just been visiting different places to talk about our stand-up comedy night. I've just been taking flyers, taking Hershey Kisses to these people, saying, "Hey, this is for you, but could you also put my flyer up?" And so going back to the first day, I think I don't 100% remember, but I vaguely remember it being, just something that I went home and went, "This feels right.
Okay.
Perfect."
Yeah, because like you said, when you're doing stuff, the hunger is always there. Like it's not a problem that can be put on hold for a little while. You guys have to keep at that constantly. Now, I got laid off a year ago, and I got a job at Hayes Gym. I'm working the front desk there, and Universalist United Church, are arranging for people to take showers over there at the Hayes Gym. And so I've gotten to meet some of the people that are quote unquote homeless here locally, and then I see them here, of course, at the library all the time as well. Really opened my eyes. I heard about homeless in DeKalb County, and and you can turn the other way when you see somebody who thinks it's homeless. But now, when I'm aware of it now, and I must be feel the same way for you guys to know what's really going on here, and then try to convey that to other people, what's happening right in our own backyard, right?
I think the best, and again, I know it's stuff on your toes, but if you were to volunteer and take a route, you would see something maybe you wouldn't really do was out there in the area.
Mm-hmm.
Get to add to that too is sometimes you don't even realize how in need your neighbors are. I get a lot of volunteers that come in to deliver Meals on Wheels, and they come back and they're like, "Oh man, I had no clue that the guy a couple doors down from me was getting Meals on Wheels, and he needs help with his front door to get it fixed, and I'm going to go over there after work." So it's just bringing light to what people need and honoring that, whether that's meals or help at home or transportation. Some of these individuals that we serve, I think, feel very unseen on a day, and it's a very hard feeling to feel like that no one sees you. So we try and bring that social connection back and have our volunteers connect with our clients, ask them what they need, how they can improve their day.
That's great. I love that. So I want to do a shout out to for 39 years, Joel and his family. This right? Do you know this gentleman?
Joel and Helen Bauer.
Yeah. So they nice article about tell them about that, because they've obviously walk the walk and talk the talk.
They were actually last year our Lifetime Giving Award winners at our volunteer appreciation. They have donated. Well, I don't have a dollar amount in front of me that I can say, be comfortable saying it, but it's something where they have been a pillar of support. He's currently our board president, and Nolan is silently over there on his side supporting him. But yeah, they're strong community support, and they know that what they have given us goes very far, very far.
And again, I'm sure that makes them feel fantastic to do that too. And then finally, I want to mention here, volunteer in DeKalb County. Tell us what our volunteer opportunities you have. The different times here. I see Meals on Wheels delivered Monday through Friday, 10:45 to 12:15. I did it. I remember I was just doing it one day a week. So even you can do it one day a week, right? Is that still the same?
I and say I want to do the third Tuesday of every month. Oh, okay, cool, perfect. We'll put it on the schedule the third Tuesday of every month, and that's your Tuesday. Good thing we have people who do every Tuesday of every month. We have groups that come in and they sponsor a month and they do the whole month of, I don't know, June or something like that.
Okay, so service organization
route. They take one route for the month of June, and they get different parts of maybe it's bank or something like that, and have their staff sign up and they do it. So it's all about what the client, what the volunteer is able to do, looking to do, as much or as little as they want to do. We have people who think we've said this before is they're selfish. They only go when they need. Those are huge. That's huge.
Okay.
You can call up someone and say, this so and so had to take their dog to the vet. Can you help us? Yeah, they come in. Those people who drop everything they're doing and just say yes are just as important as people who are there every third Tuesday.
I have to tell a funny story. When I was doing it, that was during COVID, so we were dropping off boxes of food for the folks. And I get out in the gentleman's driveway, and he stops me in the driveway, and he goes, "Put that down." I put it down, and he starts taking things out of the box. He goes, "I don't want this. I don't need this." And I guess it was really practical because he wasn't going to take something he didn't want. But he left me in the driveway with a bunch of stuff to gather up. But the feeling when you're helping other people, I mean, you really can't. I guess you can't convey that unless you actually do it, because it's just helped me so much to be knowing that you're helping other people. Now I see you guys also delivering sandwich, right? So people in that area can volunteer. They'll have to come here and then.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a little known fact, though, too, that not only are we in the sandwich area with our kitchen down there, we have 7 routes down there, but that's honestly, as we go back to that weird word, congregate, it's Sally down in the sandwich kitchen, which is based out of Fox Valley, older adults. They're on, it's a Sudam Road. Is that how you say it? I say it wrong.
You got it. That's right.
She does a congregate party. Like, she had 160 people at the
Definitely advertised at a banging congregate party.
Julian Piano's party, and it was a really good time. But not only are we down in the sandwich area, we're also down in LaSalle, Putnam, and Bureau counties. We have around 30-some people on the wait list here in DeKalb County, and the LaSalle, Putnam, Bureau area that land-wise is a lot bigger. Actually has over 300 on their wait list down there.
Is that right?
Working down there with radio stations and realtors and doing fundraising and stuff like that. So we're everywhere. We are everywhere in central Illinois.
Boy, it's sad to hear about the wait list being so big there. But again, if people want to volunteer, if I have this right, they can contact Julie at 758-3932, extension 232. Again, contact Julie at 754-815, 758-3932, extension 232. And again, let's get that waiting list eliminated, right? I mean, oh my God. Well, this has been a delight for me to get to know you guys. You know, I was on the radio for years, and I would do a little 10-minute interview, like you said, you're on the radio station. But you only get to know people when you do these longer podcasts. So I'm so impressed by both of you guys. Just so grateful for what you do for our community. And let's remind people that Stand Up for Comedy fundraiser is coming up on April 4th there at the Egyptian Theater. Now, let's go direct to let's just go to badmomsofcomedy.com for more information about them. But
that's more information about them. But
yeah,
the
so tell
Egyptian website is going to be where you're going to go to get the tickets, or if you wanted to go directly to our website to read the biographies of the comedians, the 5 ladies that are going to be there, then I start there. But as you know, there's links clicked everywhere. Once you go to our website at vacdk.org, V as in Victor, acdk.org, that's going to take you to the homepage where you can click on anything you want to review. But we have the links are going to give you more information directly on the website or take you to order to purchase tickets through the Egyptian Theater.
Do you two have a joke you'd like to share before we wrap things up here? If you say anything you want.
There is
Sorry.
we have a joke.
I'm teasing though.
If you have a joke, there is, going back to volunteers, we do have one really cool volunteer, Barb Furness. She has a joke of the day every day.
Oh,
she
good.
delivers, and they're
Little risque?
no, not at all.
No,
They're just dry, and you're like, that's not funny, but yet also very funny at the same time. So our volunteers come with all kinds of spunk, and we love them.
Well, now this is going to air. We're recording this in the beginning of March. It'll air later in the month of March. But again, April 4th is the date coming up. But looking past that, too, if people want to volunteer, again, it's a constant need, right? A constant thing. And then volunteering or donating food and things of that nature. Do you want that? Or would you rather say, we'd rather get a check? If you give us a check, we can do more with that. Is it?
I think I would just encourage everyone to reach out to us. Let us know what they're interested in donating, whether that's food or a financial contribution or their time as a volunteer, and we'll either direct you to the right place or answer your questions. And it needs best to be in the know of specifics.
Okay, very good. We've been talking with Tammy and Amber, or Tamber, if you'd like to be called that, whenever you're out together. But thank you so much for your time today. It's been very informative, and I hope you don't mind me peeling you guys back like an onion, but there was a lot of interesting stuff in there.
It's been a pleasure.
Well, thank you both so much.
Thanks for having us, Steve.
And it's TD Ryan Unleashed, a podcast. Well, big thanks to my nephew for getting us on the air. And that's TD Ryan Unleashed podcast number 45.